very good afternoon to you and welcome to Bophelong, a place of hope. I am your host, Pule Molebatsi. We have all just celebrated Christmas and many of us did so with family and friends. We exchanged gifts and shared meals. Christmas in many households, it's not Christmas without a feast. But many South Africans just can't afford to have a huge meal or any other meal for that matter. Margaret Daniso reminds us of that, but she actually does something about it too.
KwaZulu-Natal is South Africa's largest economy, contributing on average 15.7% in 2011 to the country's GDP. The province is strategically positioned by being home to two of Africa's busiest and largest ports, Durban and Richards Bay. It also boasts the third highest export propensity and the second highest level of industrialization in the country. Rich in heritage and potential, yet it also faces a massive challenge: hunger. Though this country produces sufficient food for its population, skyrocketing prices prevent the poor, most of them urban households, from getting adequate nutrition. Food crisis constitutes a death sentence for many, and government has labeled this as serious. In Johannesburg, 43% of the poor face starvation and malnutrition. Researchers believe the figures could be higher. The hungriest people are in Cape Town and in Msunduzi in KwaZulu-Natal. Meet Margaret Danisa. She is a single mother who has taken it upon herself to face the challenges faced by her community.
Ugogo ke wayengumuntu ke uthi mawufika ekhaya abafikayo nje ekhaya bathola amaphaselanyana yabona ngalesa sikhathi kungekabi khona lama plastic kuse ama newspaper kusho ukuthi uzomnikeza inkambi ayifake eplastic lento ephepheni konke nje nabona bona bamnqushele ngoba kwakunqushwa ngithi ngaleso sikhathi ngoba manje sekuthenga osempu kwakusanqushwa kuhlakulwe yazi umuntu nje labantu yabona abayihluphekelayo abanye bezeke lapha abathwalise so sakhula ngaleyo ndlela.
It was then into her adulthood that she decided to establish the Siphutando Care Group.
Kube khona umama okwakuthiwa uMrs Sikhakhane oshone last year ngoMeyi. Athe wedanisa masiqaleni lento yokuthi siphekeleni ingane siyenze nengadi khona ukuze ngoba zikhona ingane ezisokolayo hayi ngempela siqale sihambe sibhala incwadi sibhalele eSpa ukuthi sicela ukuthi basichase ngegrocer ngoba asinamali abantu ke basithengela oma deep freezer ngine deep freezer manje enkulu ngine fridge ngine stove lesenisibonile lapha ekitchen kwaphinda futhi kwathi ilento idandi July basinikeza u40,000 ngaqhuba ngawo ke lo 40,000 sathenga iuniform yengane ngoJanuary besibathengela iuniform lezingane.
Margaret now serves and assists a large number of children and even adults because the need is so great.
Abantwana enginabo ngathi nje inamba vele iya fluctuate yabona ngoba ngesinye isikhathi yabona njengamanje bathola igrant ngithi abanye bathola igrant abezi mhlambe kube u2 to 3 days after that ke sebeyeza ke ngaleso sikhathi inkinga yami ukuthi abanayo iuniform abanye ngempela nje baphuma la kuhlupheke wakhona kangokuthi ngokokwabo bekufanele ukuthi na ngomgqibelo nangesonto ngiyapheka ngoba uyabona nje ukuthi kuhanjwa kanzima ngempela akukho kudla.
And she does all this hard work with very little assistance in the kitchen.
Ngipheka ngiyi1 sisingendlela yokuthi abantu abafuna uvolunteer angiholi lento ngiyenza nje ngothando into engithanda nje ukuthi ingane ithi ngiyabonga kuba mnandi kimi. Ngelinye ilanga ngihleli nje ngithe uyazi ngikhathele mina ukwenza lento ngoba manje kwa isinkwa angisazi isinkwa mina bengisithengelwa indodakazi yami kufuneka manje imali enginayo ngithenge ugesi ay ngithi ngizoyiyeka mina lento uyazi ukuthi uNkulunkulu wenza waletha ingane ifika vele ukudla kusekho khona ipapa kuphela yathi ingane lungile mama ipapa ngithi yabona lapha la singena khona ehleli lapho ke itafula lilapho wahlala umntwana ngangizwa eshaya kanjeni unyawo edla ipapa lodwa lodwa ipapa ngathi yazi ukuthi ayikho lento ayisilutho imali engikhiphayo la ngoba ukudla ngiyakuthola mahala isopo ngiyalithola elento kwa economics ayikho into eyinkinga la ngoba akho lutho vele engiyenzayo angisebenzi ngcono ngisize lezi ngane ngaqhubeka ke kuze kube namanje.
After the break, we will see just how much of an impact Margaret has had in her community. Stay with us.
On the morning of the 21st of February 1917, their ship was rammed by a liner. Legend has it that as the Mendi was going down, members of the 5th Battalion danced barefoot aboard the vessel. 616 died that day, most of them black.
After the rapid food security assessment that was done together with WFP and FAO, we found that this is one of the heavily impacted areas because of Ebola.
Over 300 bikers from across the province making a difference in the fight against blood-related cancer.
I'm here in support of cancer, and my sister has cancer, so I'm riding for cancer.
Catch all news locally and internationally. Tune into SABC, your #1 news channel, news at 8 from Monday to Sunday.
Inspire others to say no to drugs. Drugs can cause cancer and destroy your life.
You can lose everything. You can lose your friends. You will never be the same again. Drugs can kill you.
Alcohol can rob you of your future.
You can lose all your money.
They can make you infertile.
You will lose your self-respect.
Alcohol can hurt those around you.
Give yourself the best chance in life.
Drugs can destroy your health.
Drugs can make you lose your job.
Let's stand up against alcohol abuse.
Drugs can destroy every part of your life.
Look out for each other. Let's stand up against drugs.
It could be a gloomy Christmas for many South Africans whose jobs are on a knife's edge.
But the concern this time around is that there's certainly a spike and all sectors of the economy face risk.
Solidarity is involved in 45 different retrenchment exercises, and it cuts across all sectors.
While most retrenchments are expected in the mining and manufacturing sectors, analysts say the public sector will not escape.
So people are now sitting on their hands because the future is very uncertain.
Primetime News, daily at 6 p.m. on SABC News.
Welcome back to Bophelong, a place of hope. In this next insert, Margaret shares with us why she feels her work is so important and what her spirit of giving has done for her community. Take a look.
About 10 million tons of food is being wasted in South Africa each year, says Council for Scientific and Industrial Research in 2013. Yet, there continues to be those that sleep hungry. Margaret talks about how she doesn't turn anybody that is hungry away.
Ngondla wonke umuntu amandiya abelungu nabo abantu kangokuthi yabona la ngoba kusendleleni omunye uyangena athi ngicela amanzi uyicabangele ngokwakuthi cha imizi miningi la ubefanele ukuthi ucelile nakomunye umuntu kusho ukuthi lo muntu ezofuna amanzi nje akafuni amanzi ulambile bese uyamphakela angikhethi yebo nginayo iregister kodwa umuntu mayifikile angiqoshi. Uba ngcono mangiye ngahlangana nomzali. Hayi umzali asho yazidanisa niyasiza ngoba emini lana asibinayo asihlupheki ngendaba yokudla sipatanisa ebusuku ngithi mina kungcono ke mama mangaba kukhona lokho oza uzomkerisa amazambane ukere nje amazambane khona ukuze nawe uzophatha kube khona ingane ezodla lapho ntambama ngoba uparafini uzozama uma ngaba nisebenzisa uparafini nizozama ke indaba yoparafini nogesi ke kodwa nje ukudla ngeke ukuswele.
It is, however, a job with little reward.
Mangenze leyo nto ilanga nje kuba mnandi kimi ngizwe kumnandi ngoba uyazi kumnandi ukuthi umuntu athi ngiyabonga noma ke kungekho ayikho lento engiyenzayo yebkodwa kubo ke kukhulu leyanto nje ukuthi nje ubone umuntu edla futhi ekuenjoya ukudla umphakela kona.
She cook for all of us during the year. She cook very nice. Margaret umuntu osiphethe kahle njengoba singesenabazali ungathi usefana ukuthi umzali wethu.
Kungazathi ingane zakhe sikhulisile kodwa sesibadala manje ukudla kwakhe.
That is a perfect example of sharing the Christmas spirit of giving. But how many of us are as generous? We went out to the streets to hear if you ever think of the needy at this time of the year.
During the festive season, malls are abuzz with many South Africans spending large amounts of money while spending time with family, indulging in the celebrations that almost always involves sharing with them a Christmas feast. But as we continue to celebrate the holidays, how much time should we be dedicating to thinking of those that don't have anything at all at this time of the year?
As far as I'm concerned, people don't usually think about other people in a way that, on Christmas days when there's enough food, you can call your neighbors, those ones who are suffering, those ones who go to bed with hungry stomachs to come and eat. But then because it's a happy day and everyone is happy, they're only thinking of themselves and making themselves happy. They're not actually thinking of other people.
I think we should take time to consider them and also make plans for them to have a nice Christmas as well. In our budget, we also need to give something to those people on Christmas Day, like bring back the spirit of Ubuntu.
There are a lot of children out there starving, and we have the opportunity or we have the will to help them. So it shouldn't only be on Christmas Day. It should be every day or whenever we can.
Maybe make a big pot of food and invite everybody. You see, make sure that they know that they are welcome to come and eat.
Think of the homeless that are sitting in the street, give them something to eat and maybe some blankets for the evenings which are cold.
I feel sorry for those that won't have on Christmas Day. There will be a lot of people. That's why we don't go out to, like those years, cook a lot of food and things. We think about them. We must have passion and love and caring for those that don't have.
Stay with us. After the break, we spend time with South Africa's ultimate givers.
The judge slammed corruption in both the private and public sector. Referring to irregular and wasteful government expenditure, he said it could no longer go on.
The high-profile corruption scandal has dominated Spain's headlines in recent weeks. The scandal touching a nerve as Spain emerges from its downturn after a slew of corruption cases involving politicians and the king's sister.
Tourism is a vital part of the economy. It contributes about 5% to the country's GDP and is a significant contributor to various industries such as food production, retail and transport.
For all your business news, stay tuned to your favorite channel, SABC News, at 1 Monday to Friday.
There's a lot of corruption there. What are you doing with that?
The word corruption is actually misplaced.
Any elements of corruption must be rooted out and punished accordingly.
SASCO is denying that there's any evidence of such.
We've heard the allegations about students not assisting the situation.
Why do you have to be pressurized to do your job, Mr. Msulu?
We spend everything that we get given by government.
It's an excuse.
Who's failing you at government?
Who's failing us at government?
Who's not heeding your call?
The government is the government.
Is Dr. Blade Nzimande doing well?
With what he has done, we want him to do more. We want him to deliver more.
So he's failing.
The Minister of Higher Education, don't put words in my mouth.
Watch Question Time with me, Mpho Tsedu, Monday to Thursday at 5:30 p.m. on the SABC News Channel.
Coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios in Johannesburg, South Africa. Welcome to AM News on SABC News. We're on DSTV channel 404. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We'll be taking you through all the developing stories, all the leading stories in South Africa, in the continent of Africa and the rest of the world. The power utility has attributed the current wave of load shedding to what it has described as unforeseen technical problems at current power stations. Eskom has warned that there is a risk of a total blackout if consumers do not use electricity sparingly.
We must work together to make this world better for all. This is what Nelson Mandela told us. He taught us a very important lesson.
That's AM News, daily at 10 a.m. on SABC News.
Welcome back to Bophelong, a place of hope. We set off to Orkney in the northwest and joined Gift of the Givers as they spread Christmas cheers in the mining town with people that really needed help. Take a look.
In 2009, Aurora bought old Pamoti mines, Grootvlei and Orkney, promising to revive mining. However, both mines were left bare while promises to pay liquidators and workers were never honored. What this meant is that jobs were lost and thousands were left with no income at all.
These workers have been exploited for more than 5 years. More than 5 years. And as COSATU in the Northwest Province, jointly with NUM, we have been fighting this case for many years. And to an extent that in October this year, there was a court ruling against the Bana investors. Bana was the company that was appointed to run the finance of Aurora. And the ruling was that come the 15th, they must be able to prove that they will be able to pay half of the 35 million. They did not pay. They were called to the Master of High Court on the 20th of November 2014. They did not come. So where the liquidators are today, they've got a route of execution to attach the property so that they can get the 35 million and pay the creditors, which include the workers.
Certainly the most ultimate givers in South Africa are the Gift of the Givers that saw this as an opportunity to give to those most affected in Orkney in the Northwest Province.
It was first in 2009 when we came to hear about the miners not being paid in Orkney, Aurora Mine, Shaft 2, Shaft 5. We then started with a similar thing that we're doing here today with food parcels that we hope can last between, depending on the size of the parcel, ranges between 2 and 4 months. And then from then on we decided, let's open a physical kitchen that's stationed here all the time. So we brought in all of our equipment, stoves and everything, and we fed every single day, 3 meals a day for 75 days. The mine then changed hands and we thought that, things might get a bit better. Turns out it really didn't. And then we started slowly but surely, trying constantly to put something on the table of the miners on a regular basis. It was about last month that we really saw that things are getting very, very bad over here, especially with Christmas coming up and it's looking very bleak. And we put our heads together and thought, let's just brighten up the Christmas for the miners.
These workers are suffering. We have lost number of workers. Their children have not been able to go to school for years. Some of the workers are sick. Some of the workers, old men there, are not able to go home. One of the workers says to me on Monday when I was here, he has not been able to go to home, Mozambique, for about 2.5 years. He has not been able to see his family. He was crying tears. And that is why as COSATU today we felt that we should talk again with the givers to try and see if they cannot give these workers something to have on the table during the festive season. When those exploiters, Aurora directors, will be able to, they will be going out for overseas with their family and celebrate the exploitation of this worker. These poor workers would have nothing to eat. But the most important day today for us as COSATU is to celebrate that at least the Department of Labor has agreed with us to pay the UIF for those workers. Aurora directors were deducting this UIF, but they were not paying it to the Department of Labor.
The time of giving, people wouldn't be able to even give a smile. My hungry stomach doesn't know how to smile. And it really hurts. It hurt all of us nationwide. And thanks to the people of our country that came and pulled together in a very short, it was last week Wednesday in fact, that we let everybody know. And in such a short period of time they managed to put together 1,000 parcels of substantial parcels in less than a week.
Gift of the Givers attributes all the work they have been able to do to the generosity of South Africans that have made donations.
I can't even begin to explain how much we have and how much we can still give, none of which would have been possible without the nation and not only South Africa, the rest of the world, you know, for having a unified voice against poverty and against injustice.
At least they will have something to eat. It's nothing. We can't expect that workers who somebody has robbed them, their work, their money, continue to live out of the food parcels. These food parcels, in fact, they are made for people who have no work. These workers, they had their work. They've worked. Some of the workers here have worked for 35 years in that mine.
And 2014 has been quite an eventful year for the organization that has embodied, just like Margaret Danisa, the spirit of giving.
Well, this year, as you know, the Marikana mines from last year, that was a project that went right up till August this year, 2014, fed about 30,000 miners for 8 months. So that took a lot of time. We were pretty much stationed in Marikana for the entire 8-month period. It was a very, very, very big project. And we made a lot of people smile. Of course, the Kaya Sands fire was also quite big. There were a lot of fires, earthquakes, overseas, tornadoes locally that we were responding to. I think there isn't a day that goes by that we are not hustling and bustling in our logistics center. And yeah, the latest one was Corky. It was from about January this year that we started the negotiations. Thankfully, his wife was released on the 10th of January. Things looked up very, very positive up till about 12 hours before we heard the news that he died. And yeah, after that, it was devastating. I mean, he became a family member, the Giver's family member, and all of us were extremely devastated, as I'm sure the entire nation was.
For the miners, however, the food parcels are little relief to their needs to feed not only themselves, but their families too.
This day to us, it's an impact for those workers to have something to eat, but there's nothing, because you can see yourself, after 2 weeks, for a person who have not been able to have food for almost about 5 to 6 years, this food parcel by the end of the week will be finished.
Di fokoditse mme ha di a fokotsa hobane di nyane ene ha di last ene ke tori ja ke le monyana ke sebetse le bana ba ka ba bolawa ke tlala ke di ja ke le iwane di tlo fela no ha di tata o fela gape ke a sokola ha ke tsebe gona bana ba ka ba ja kore ya ga di ke a di amoela hobane neng ha ona ntho ka etsang ke lapile ke tshwere ke tlala so go na di kan last ha di kan kana go e kae ha o tshwanela ha di le siko ke tla di nka ke tla di jana go nyeo di tlan last ha di fedile mme bana ba ka bona o tseba gore ga ba je ho ja nna ke le etsi hela
ha di fokotsa o se bane setse le nako telele le kgale re sa di fumane ntho tse ona no ka gore ho iwa di Christmaseng ke hona ba ntshang dintho tse ena di setse di le dinyane hobane malapa a gona a fapafapana ba bang ba bakana ka tlung so ntho tsena di thusi ka next le hona tsena di ntse di le dinyenyana ha ona diphofu mo ke ntho tse nyenyana ka fela
imagine go e telele ke le kwano ke dutse fela ke sa sebetse yaanong re maketse fela ha re fuwa dijo re sa fuwe ditšhelete tsa gore re kenya bana ba rona dikolo bana ba dutse fela ba tebelwa dikolong ha re bone gona tšhelete na di tla jwang re fuwa dijo then dijo re a di amoela gobanyana ne di tla go rona mara jwale re di ja fela ka pelo e bohloko re sa bone gona di ya kae.
And this is how Gift of the Givers say you too can brighten up someone else's bleak Christmas.
I think the best gift to give over this Christmas is just to make somebody smile. You know, whether it's through giving them something to eat, whether it's just telling them a good joke, anything to make somebody smile can brighten up anybody's Christmas, anybody's day, and Merry Christmas to you all.
And that's how we wrap up this week's episode of Bophelong. Email us bophelong@sabc.co.za or tweet @Bophelong Show. From myself and the rest of the Bophelong team, have yourself a wonderful festive season.